absolutely melts in your mouth, cooked in the air fryer.
Like, look at that. That is crazy.
And prep like 4 or more meals from it as well. What is going on, guys? Joey Suggs here. I got my apron on, so you know what that means. It is a recipe video for you today. Now, just on the other side of you, I have a daunting amount of air fryers, and that's because we're gonna be doing air fryer only meal prep. Really good for like lunch meal prep or dinner meal prep or meals that you can have throughout the week, using only the air fryer. So I personally love my air fryer. I make most of my meals with an air fryer, at least 1 or 2 things. That's one, why I have 3 of them, and 2, why I wanted to share this recipe that I've been using to meal prep my meals for the past couple weeks. By the way, this may be obvious, but these recipes don't have to use an air fryer, but for me, I just really enjoy the flavor, the crispiness, and the quickness that the air fryer takes. But if you want to use an oven or something like that too, you can totally do that. So here's how this is gonna go. I'm gonna show you exactly the ingredients I'm using, exactly how much of the ingredients I'm using, and how I'm cooking it, what I'm using to cook it, and at what temperature. If you want to pick up an air fryer, if you don't have one, this right here is my favorite air fryer by far. It is the Cosori, I think dual blade or something like that. I'll leave a link for it down below, but I can attest that it is fantastic. Now, without further ado, if you would like to say thank you Joey for making these recipes for me, for showing me these recipes, you can do it. All you have to do is go press that like button down below, absolutely obliterate that like button, leave 0 likes left in your tank on that like button down below, and maybe share it with a friend. They might find it helpful too. All right, that said, let's get straight into the recipe. All right, so first things first, you have to make sure you go in this order. That way everything gets done at the right time. So we're starting out with 3 large sweet potatoes, and this takes literally quite a bit of time, about 20 minutes of cutting. But when you get it all done, this is what you're left with. So I chopped them into slices and then chopped those slices into quarters, left with about like roughly 1 to 2 inch cubes. That's a really good size to get nice and crispy on the outside and still nice soft cooked on the inside. Next, we're gonna transfer all those pieces into a large mixing bowl. And before the next step, I normally preheat my air fryer, which in this case just didn't quite work. All right, quick note, if you are gonna do this, don't plug them all into the same outlet because your fuse will pop. Back to the sweet potatoes though. So we're using a bit of avocado oil spray. It's super low calorie and just helps the seasoning stick to the sweet potatoes. So we did a couple seconds of spray here, then toss it around and make sure that's evenly coated. Next up, we're adding the Kinder's blend seasoning, which is a combination of salt, pepper, and garlic seasoning. Super, super tasty on the sweet potatoes. And it's just an all around good seasoning that I've been using quite a bit recently. Go ahead, layer on the seasoning, toss it around a couple times, and you're good to go. Now we can go ahead, toss them in the air fryer. And my air fryer has a potato setting or a fry setting, and it cooks it at 380 for 25 minutes, which worked out absolutely perfect for me in this recipe. The next step, we're moving on to our veggies. In this case, we're doing some Brussels sprouts, and surprisingly, this almost follows the exact same routine. You chop them up. Specifically here, you want to cut off the little nub, like the stem portion first, and then go ahead and chop that in half. This allows the inside to cook really well and get nice and soft while getting a nice crisp outside. So after about 1,000,000 hours of chopping, this is how they should look, all cut in half, and you can see the inside is showing there, so you'll get some good browning all the way through. Same process for the Brussels sprouts here. We're going to toss them into a large mixing bowl, give them a spray with the avocado oil, and season them. This time I'm using the elote. I know I'm butchering that again, but it is a Mexican street corn seasoning, and it tastes absolutely amazing on anything you put it on. But in this case, on Brussels sprouts, it goes very, very well. So go ahead, give them a good coating, toss it around a couple times, and then pour them into your air fryer. So for the veggies, I stuck with the same temperature of 380, this time for about 20 minutes, and that worked out perfect as well. So last but certainly not least, we have our chicken breast. And I actually did 2 large chicken breasts and then I think like 5 chicken tenderloins. But once again, we're gonna follow the same process here and chop them up into 1 and 2 inch cubes. Getting a little repetitive here, but same process. We're gonna put them into a large mixing bowl. This time, no need to use spray because the seasoning will stick without it. And for the chicken, I'm gonna use the Rib Rack sugar-free barbecue seasoning. It's 0 calories, it tastes absolutely insane. It adds a really good barbecue flavor as well as like a good coating, brown coating over the chicken. All right, only difference here is I like to get in there with my hands and mix it around. I feel like it makes me more one with the meat. And same process here, go ahead, toss it in your air frying basket. And we're gonna cook the chicken at 380 as well, but only for 12 minutes this time. And with all of these air fry recipes, you wanna make sure about halfway through or every like 5 to 6 minutes, you're taking your basket out and giving it a good shake. That way you're getting an even cooking all the way across your air frying basket. So the potatoes were first to be done, and look at how beautiful and crispy on the outside these turned out while keeping that nice, good inside soft. Absolutely perfect looking. Brussels sprouts finished up next in line, and same thing here. You get a really good crispy outside. You can tell the crisp just from looking at the video, but the inside, it's not overcooked. It's perfectly soft and easy to chew. And oh baby, I want to dive into this right now. The barbecue chicken finished up last, certainly not least. Once again, just look at this piece of chicken. Absolutely cooked to perfection, juicy all the way through with a nice barbecue seasoning coat. Could not have asked for a better dinner tonight. This is how my plate is looking. Can't be more thrilled to dive right on in.
All right, let me tell you right now, this meal does not play around. Whew. The aroma in here, just from everything cooking up, cooking together, all the smells, all the tastes in my nostrils, absolutely phenomenal. And you know, if it smells good, it's probably gonna taste good. I'm gonna use a little bit of dipping sauce, because why not, in the form of this Bolthouse Farms Ranch. 50 calories per 2 tablespoons, which is actually pretty solid for ranch. I mean, beautiful looking plate. I'll go over the macros of like what this meal specifically is, and obviously depending on how much you put in yours. But I know I already showed you the chicken just absolutely cooked to perfection. Dip it in a little bit of the Bolthouse, like so. And absolutely melts in your mouth. Cooked in the air fryer as well. And in only 12 minutes. How often can you cook a full chicken breast cut up in 12 minutes? All right, onto the sweet potatoes now. Like I said, still cooked absolutely perfectly. And honestly, at first when I took them out, I was like, oh, the inside doesn't look cooked. I took a bite of one, sorry. And it was fantastic. Dipping some ranch in there as well. Like, you just get that little bit of crisp on the outside, but the inside is just so sweet and so soft. I don't get how it cooks it so fast. Like, look at that. That is crazy. If I were to try and bake sweet potatoes in my oven, every time I do it, it takes over 50 minutes. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm looking at the clock right now. Everything said and done, as I'm sitting here, plus filming, I made this entire meal, plus I'm gonna be able to make tons of meals from this in under 50 minutes. That is awesome. Last but certainly not least, the Brussels sprouts. And I know some people kind of hate on Brussels sprouts, but with that elote seasoning, absolutely phenomenal, and even better in the air fryer. I hated Brussels sprouts until I made them in the air fryer. Putting ranch on this too, because why not? Same thing here as with the sweet potatoes. So your outside, nice, crispy, crunchy, but when you actually bite into it, I think I found one of my hairs. When you actually bite into it, very soft. Amazing. So what I'm probably gonna do for the thumbnail is like get portion containers, divvy it on out, and I'm gonna take a picture so that way you guys can actually see the amount of meals that just this was able to make with 3 air fryers. I know, granted, that's a lot. But regardless, say you just wanna do one of these recipes, either at a time or one a night, something like that, you can really make meal prep so much easier and more time efficient by using an air fryer. All right, so as I'm enjoying this insanely delicious meal, let's talk about the macros and what you can come to expect if you meal prep kind of like this. So in this scenario tonight, this specific meal, right around 500 calories. Mine says 513 with everything that I've tracked here. And when I pop into the macros, literally does not get more balance than that. 62 grams of carbs, 13 grams of fat, and 55 grams of protein. If you're having a meal like this, or say 2 meals like this a day, 1, really gonna help you get your protein in throughout the day, and 2, you're eating good whole foods that you cooked at home. Speaking of health, I'm gonna crush this meal with a Diet Dr. Pepper Cherry. The best Diet Dr. Pepper / any soda you can ever drink in your entire life. Not sponsored.
But I am going to absolutely destroy this meal right here and prep like 4 or more meals. I hope you used today's video to go and make your own air fryer meal prep. I hope you did press the like button because I'm sweating from all the cutting that I had to do. And I hope you watch one of these videos right here. That's all from me. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Peace.